We've heard that at the Buffalo plant, they've taken 5 delivery barcode machines out of that plant in approximately, the last month, which coincides again with the new Postmaster General coming into the Postal Service. Those machines are used exclusively to sort letter mail. They break that letter mail down so it's in carrier route sequence, we call it, comes in order. So again, those machines can sort hundreds of thousands of pieces of mail, So it's a little, we're a little alarmed that in a run up here to an election that we're taking the ability, with the massive influx of, mail-in voting here, we're taking that ability away from the Postal Service, to process a large, portion of mail letters here.
So these were you said 5 sorting machines?
Yes, sir.
And has anybody, to the best of your knowledge, given any explanation? Did they say they were down for maintenance or something?
What the official line from the Postal Service is, due to the rapid reduction and the ongoing reduction, of first-class mail, that's why those machines are being taken out. Now, do we believe, again, there is a reduction in the total amount of first-class mail the Postal Service is handling? Absolutely we do. Okay, but it's just rather strange and it's rather ironic that in a 72-hour period, the Postal Service took these machines out, literally had them, the floor of that area, paved over like the machines were never there. Postal Service never does that, does stuff like this that fast. So they took them out, then they reduced their capacity again to sort first-class mail, all in a run-up not only to a presidential election, but then right after that comes the fall, all of the sales, and then you're going to be right into the Christmas period. So to us, it's rather bizarre timing that they're going to reduce their capacity to move letter mail, for example, when you've got the greatest need for that in this frame of the year.
Has there been anything else within the plant? I'll ask about the truck delivery in a minute, but
yes, sir.
Anything else that you're aware of, like shifting personnel around or anything of that nature?
No, nothing that isn't abnormal that we haven't been dealing with during the COVID or anything like that, or normal injury rates and all the stuff like that. But all of those things, seem to be, stagnant just like they were.
And what about the impact specifically upon your letter carriers? Are they seeing anything besides these sorting machines?
Yeah, well, again, what we're seeing is, definitely a reduction in the mail coming to us in the morning. And that's because that delivery network or that transportation network, is being manipulated where before they would hold trucks, for example. Normally if you had a truck come in and it only had, 2 cages of mail on it and management knew there were 10 more that they needed to get on there, for example, in another 10 or 15 minutes, they would hold that truck and then they put all the mail on the truck, take all the mail to the station. Under these new directives, they're no longer doing that. So they're only going out with that truck with 2 cages full of mail on it and leaving the 10 behind. Carriers are seeing a drastic reduction in delay in the mail once it hits our cases in the morning in order to take it out because of these new, operating circumstances that we're under.
What is happening, do you think, to those cages or cases? I'm sorry,
cages?
What's happening to them if they don't get out on that truck that was there?
If they, for example, if these are early trucks in the morning between, for example, 4 and 7 a.m., if that mail's not on that truck in the morning, it's delayed a whole nother day. That's still right. That's still delaying the service standard to the customer. When those 10 cages aren't put on that truck, okay, that's coming in after carriers are leaving. Now the clerks don't have that broken down in the morning. We can't get that out to the American public. We now have to wait till the following day in order to take that mail out. So you've got a delay in the service standard in the transportation network. Now you've got a delay in the service standard in the delivery network.
And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? We talked about the trucks, we talked about the sorting machines. Is there anything else that you're noticing? Maybe even something kind of subtle?
I mean, the thing for all of us, all of us postal employees, we have a mission to do every single day. And that's the way it's been for the 27 years, minus this last month that I've worked for the Postal Service. All the mail that comes in the morning needs to go out that same day. Now, whether that's in the plant, whether that's in the station, that's not currently happening. That cannot happen. We need the network to work as efficiently as it has before, and with these new directives, it's not. My carriers are working massive amounts of overtime. There's this directive, no overtime. That's not happening with letter carriers. Letter carriers are working the most amount of overtime most of us have seen in our career, and we're delivering the least amount of mail that we've ever handled. That doesn't make any, from a business standpoint, even though the Postal Service is a service, it's not a business. But when you're talking bang for your buck, you can't operate that way.
So in other words, they're having to go out on the routes later when the mail is coming in more staggered. Is that what you mean?
The mail isn't coming in early in the morning. They're telling us to leave. Then that mail is being sorted after we leave. And then when we get back at the end of the day, we're sorting that mail in. But by that time, we're not taking it out the same day. It's now delayed until delivery until the following day.
And the overtime, you were saying that's because it's just taking longer to get it out, or you don't have as much to go out on your route with, and then you have to come back and get more and go back out, or what?
Well, the workout, just the work hours in general, we're out there longer than ever due to some of these changes. The Postal Service has implemented a new test program at 5 stations in the city of Buffalo. It's an expedited mailing test system. What that normally does is it's designed to get the carriers out early in the morning and then get them back early in the afternoon to sort mail for the next day. And that's not what's happening a lot of times, because the clerks aren't getting the mail early enough to get it sorted, to get it to the carrier, to get it into the case, to get it into the mail truck, to get it delivered. Now we're spending longer out on the street delivering that mail because the system isn't working efficiently.
I see. So are you seeing anything at any of the branches per se besides the main handling? What do you call that again on William Street? That's the main...
The GMF, General Mail Facility.
Okay, so that's the place where it all comes in.
Yes.
Anything with the mail that's coming in for the planes, say, because we know some of the stuff flies overnight and stuff
Right.
like that.
Most of our transportation network, is reliant on ground transportation. Probably, the vast majority of it is ground. Only a portion of it is in the air. But for the most part, just due to our weather system too, we utilize ground transportation a lot more than we do, air transportation. We're seeing, again, the issue with that is them not loading trucks to capacity, them not holding trucks a little bit longer to get more mail out. We had an instance, I know, where one of the drivers that drives the truck from the plant to Jamestown, he was so fed up with it, he just up and quit. Management had nobody to drive the truck down to Jamestown. It eventually got there, but again, caused a delay that day in the mail in Jamestown, New York. That the people didn't get all the mail that they should have gotten same day like they should have.
I was just about to ask that next, the morale factor.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it like?
It's very tough. For a lot of us, we've dedicated our lives to delivering, all the goods, products, and services that the country needs. And every day when we come into work and we're told to do the complete opposite of everything we've been trained to do. Our mission is just like the military. We have a mission every day. Our mission is to deliver all of that mail to the American public every day. And when we're going in there and we're being told, hey, the mail got delayed at the plant, or the mail's delayed in the transportation network, no, you guys can't take out all this mail today. It's devastating to letter carriers. We're delivering life-saving prescription medication. We're delivering livestock. We're seeing people call me here at the Union Hall asking me, Dave, when am I going to get my medication? We've had instances in some of our more rural areas, they deliver live livestock. The livestock's dying before it gets to the customer. That's devastating to these farmers and things like that. For example, chicks, baby chicks go through the mail. They use that obviously to populate their farm for poultry and things like that. And if the livestock dies before it gets to the farm, it's no good for the farmer, right? These are the types of things that the general population doesn't really realize. I think a lot of people take the Postal Service, its network, its strategic asset, its delivery network, they take that for granted. And it's really not something as a country that we can take for granted. It's one of the things that makes our country